Hello, everyone, and welcome to Osquery Office Hours. It's early June. In Boston, our weather has been alternating between 50 and 90, as Boston sometimes does. Hopefully, it's normal-ish where the rest of you are. Anyhow, announcements and highlights. I don't think I have any announcements or highlights. I'll mention maybe that the Slack invite link changed. I don't really know what happened. I'm currently talking to Slack about this, and I have mostly only gotten vaguely inaccurate first-tier support answers. They're like, oh, links always expire, and I'm like, this one says it doesn't expire, and so I don't know what they'll come back with. We may end up needing to just cycle them yearly or something annoying like that. So I don't know.
Did our plan change or did the ownership change?
No, I don't even know who created the old link because it doesn't display it. So I don't know what the old link was. I think Teddy must have made it. And maybe Teddy went inactive or something, but I don't know. It's very opaque. So I don't know. I PR'd a new one into the website, and I think Stefano PR'd it into the docs. So thank you, various people, for doing stuff. Other announcements or highlights? Okay. So next section is kind of an open section for questions, issues, or PRs, anything that people in the broader community want to bring up. I do see several people who don't normally show up at this meeting, so perhaps one of them has something they'd like to bring up.
I was mostly joining to say hi because I appreciate you all reviewing my PRs and just checking in and seeing if there's feedback on how that's going, and definitely interested in the 5.9 release, but didn't have any particular issues besides that today.
Well, hi, Brad. I don't think I've ever seen you in person, but I have enjoyed your PRs, so thank you for contributing them.
Sounds good.
Yeah, we could, if no one has any specific questions, we could, sorry?
Quick question regarding the website. How do we deploy those? I thought on merging it auto-deployed. Apparently it's not the case, or at least it did at some point way back, no?
No, I don't think it's ever auto-deployed. The deployment is run yarn deploy, I think. It's in the README file that's there. I look it up every time.
Got it.
If you would like to automate it, I would certainly approve any kinds of automation progress that there might be.
Awesome.
So yeah, I got nothing. I'm sorry. Let's see. We could probably just jump into 590 or any PRs or something that feels like a useful thing. I saw someone suggest. So interestingly, JD, that is absolutely not what the Slack website says, even if it is what the Slack support people told me, because I have several links that are listed as never expires. So I don't know what never means. We'll see. 7819. Okay. I'm sorry, person. I do not quite know how to pronounce your name, but you suggested that we really take a look at PR 7819, which restores functionality of the crashes table. Mike's not here. What was the state of this? This might just be mergeable.
I think he's still marked it as draft.
Other than that, does it look good to us?
Yeah, I remember trying this and it worked. And
Do you want me just to
left,
mark it ready for review and you can approve it?
yeah, let it go through the CI again. If there are any merge conflicts, or it's kind of a little stale, but
I I don't know how to make GitHub do that, so I would just merge it because it will tell us if it didn't like the merge. If you want to approve it, we'll merge it.
You can always close and reopen. I think that re-triggers the CI.
I don't feel the need to, honestly. It's like changing the plist parsing to include another directory and format. So
Okay, got it.
I don't think it's like, I don't think this touches any of the underlying, helper functions or things like that, right? It's like parse some plists from this additional directory. So I think the only risks we'd have is a merge conflict in the file. And I think GitHub would probably display that okay. And
Okay.
I don't really want to take an hour of like CI time. I want to just click done.
Sounds good to me.
Let me just write down that we think this is fine. Okay. Yeah. So if you want to end up approving that, Charvel, I'll merge it or something, or I guess you could merge it.
just
Wonderful. Great. Done. Thank you, person, for bringing that up. So let's see, Brad, you were asking about your various PRs. Okay, Kimbro.
I think
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, I guess the main one, I guess, that's open was unified log one, which I guess I'm curious if what I was
Yes.
saying made sense to you, or if you think I should try to do the change to make it work across multiple queries, the timestamp greater than -1, but I was tempted to just leave as is and at least make the table a bit more usable. Right now, I was having a lot of trouble using it just at all in a reliable way with the greater than -1. But it can also be after this meeting. I didn't mean to say we need to figure it out right here. It's up to you all.
I think you should do whatever you think makes sense.
Yeah.
I think it is uncommon. It would be so there's like the MD-find table, right? When the MD-find table, you pass some underlying search predicate to it. And it'd be kind of weird to pass two search predicates because you would normally just do it in the search predicate. So I have no idea what that table does if you pass it two search predicates.
Yeah.
And this feels very similar where we're like in a, what is the unknown? Like it would be weird to pass two search predicates. So pick something reasonable and I don't know, stick it in the parenthetical.
Yeah, I think it basically does that fine now then, I think.
Okay. Did I have anything else to say about this? You said you didn't see a way to pass max rows down into the enumerator. That's a bummer.
Yeah.
But okay. Maybe I even remember that from the original PR. Does anyone else want to review this? It looked okay to me other than like those couple of questions. Okay, done.
Awesome.
I've approved it.
I'm very excited for this one. So I was trying to actually like pull various data sources, and then all of the queries are failing on the fleet that I'm running them on because of resourcing. So should help a lot.
Am I still here?
Now you are back, sort of, but the video is blurred.
I'm sorry. Hello?
Hey,
Okay.
hey, Seth, can you hear us?
I can hear you now.
Okay.
I don't know what my computer did.
Yeah, it did freeze and the video was frozen on a blurry video. Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry. So, what was I saying? Marcos has a PR up for extracting metadata from Sandbox Safari extensions, which I think I reviewed and thought that there were n-squared problems with. So I don't know if Marcos is looking at that, if we want to kick that forward to release. What do you want to do?
Yeah, I still have to do some work there, and also have to probably I'm going to work with Zach to test this out in a different environment, because I am just using a VM with macOS to test this out, and I'm not quite confident on just using that environment.
And actually, I confirmed it is working, but it's pretty slow, and that's probably associated with what Seth discovered in the code. So I think we should address that, and then we can retest, and
Okay,
I think we could do that quickly if we want to get it into this release.
Sure, I will prioritize it. Yeah.
Okay, so we should hold and let you take a pass at this. I'm kind of fine either way. I'm feeling mostly like we should cut a release, but the urgency is all from within. So okay, I'm happy to wait and wait. We can wait a few days, and we can always push that forward if we want to.
Yeah, I will try to address the changes today and see if we can test this out and have an answer by tomorrow if we are including this one.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, sure.
We have a handful of PRs from Dreamer Dead, which I think Marcos asked for some changes on, and he mentioned he was a little underwater right now, so maybe we shouldn't try and hold off on them. Charbel, if you think it's good and approved, just merge it. It's fine. As a little bit of a heads up, I think at Collide we have maybe finally solved some of the horrific parts of block devices and disk encryption. So I have one PR up. Folks could review it and we could merge it in, or it could land in the next release. Which fixes an n-squared problem. And then one of my coworkers should be pushing up a PR that fixes the parental disk encryption bug that we have. And I mean, if we get them merged into 5.9, that's cool. But if we don't, that's okay too. These have been things that have been hanging out for a while. But I'm happy that we maybe have some PRs up for them. Anything people want to talk about? Any PRs in here? Anyone want to try and advocate that we get anything else into 5.9 real fast? Otherwise, we'll probably merge. We'll probably cut a release as soon as we're happy with Marcos's.
There are a couple of approved PRs as well. There's Brad's other keychain items. There's Stefano's fixing extended attribute. I reviewed those. I think we can get that in 5.9 as well. And as soon as Marcos pings me, I'll review that as well.
Okay. I would say anything that is approved that you think is reasonable, just merge. Sometimes I approve something and then I kind of let it sit for someone else to also look at. But yeah, anything you want to just merge in, it's fine. It's as good as anything else. Yeah. Okay. I suspect this is going to be a big release. So thank you all for code and PRs and reviews. Anyone want to talk about other PRs or other things in 5.9.0? Anyone want to review a block devices PR and try and get that in?
I don't have Linux VMs easily accessible, otherwise I would. I'll try to create that, and yeah.
I mean, the block devices, I think, is a POSIX one. I think that's a POSIX one. So you could probably review it. Is this? No, this is Linux. My mistake. This is a Linux one. But it's this one. So anyhow, I'm not going to push too hard, but if anyone's excited to review that, it removes an n-squared bug. If no one wants to talk other PRs, I've got another agenda item. Okay, so the other item I have here is that I would like us to get some more Osquery Go maintainers. Because I think right now it's like Zach and I, and but both of us can be a little short time, let's say. So mostly I wanted to mention it to the group. I don't quite know how we want to do this or who, but I can probably nominate someone from Collide. I'd love to see a fleet person. I assume y'all write Go code sometimes using this SDK.
Yeah, for sure. I think Lucas on our team would probably be the right person. He's typically worked on the Go agent code the most, and definitely worked with Osquery Go some.
We can also ask the Mac admins extension folks. I think Graham Gilbert mainly kind of writes those. He might be interested. It might be on us to kind of reach out proactively, but
it's an interesting one. Would you like me to reach out to Graham? I'm interested in him to some extent.
I'd be happy to, or you can, either way.
Okay.
So maybe there's a Collide person.
Steph, are you going to be at Mac DevOps YVR? Okay.
The other person is there's someone who's been somewhat active in PRs from, I think, Elastic. So I would consider, like, I've never interacted with him apart from like 3 PRs, but you know, he's there.
Okay. Is that Saurabh?
I don't know. His username starts with like an A or an AND or something. He tends to review the things I put up.
Oh, A Cognet?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay.
Or no, Alec Moss. Alec Moss.
Okay.
But Graham might be a better bet because we know Graham. I think he's a little more known to us.
I'll reach out to Graham.
Yeah, see if he wants to. I'm happy to go through the GitHub plumbing and just create a Go maintainers group with commit access to Go. Cool. Other agenda items?
If we have time and if no one has anything, there are new endpoint security events in macOS Sonoma. There is profile add, profile remove, sudo, su, XPC connect. There's extended attribute related ones, a few more. But again, Apple doesn't backport them, so we have to bring our SDK target a little bit forward. It's a little bit premature, but yeah, just something on the radar.
We'd have to bring our SDK target all the way up to Sonoma?
No, I don't think all the way up to Sonoma. At least that's not been the case up until now.
Okay.
But I think we are still at Mojave or Catalina. I don't remember. I think we're at Catalina. But we'll also need like probably a newer image on GitHub runners. But yeah, it will happen when GitHub pushes those.
I can't remember. Is there a way we can import multiple macOS SDKs and then like see what's there and like have fallbacks? Like I know for the frameworks that may or may not be present, we can kind of be like, is this present? If so, use it. But I don't know if we can do something clever with endpoint security and like versioning or something.
We can have multiple instances of Xcode, and then we can select the path based on what version we are running on. But I don't know if you can select multiple SDK targets. I don't think that's possible, but haven't explored it yet.
I'm thinking about like, of the things you mentioned, profile add remove, sudo execution, those are really exciting events. Like
Yeah, definitely.
Exactly.
and I feel like I'm not sure our user base is as interested in them, but like as a security practitioner, those are just really exciting. And I'm sure there's interest in getting those into events.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So I'm like, well, how can we do that as soon as possible? Right. But then I'm like, well, how can we not drop support for like the long tail? So I don't know what we can do there.
Yeah, I mean, we have this discussion about every 4 or 6 months, I think, and I'm always inclined to keep moving on. Like people can use older versions of Osquery if they need to, and they can backport security patches if they really need to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I feel like it would not be reasonable for us to bring the SDK all the way up to Big Sur. But I don't know what's current Ventura.
Yeah, current is 13.4 Ventura.
Yeah, like that doesn't feel good. But I don't know. We could probably try and get to like a current -2 or something, just a little bit more standard. I don't know. I imagine we'll talk about this every release. I don't know. That's super exciting, Charbel. Do it. Do people see other stuff in WWDC?
There is something parallel to entitlements. It's related to environment variables. Like, I forget what Apple calls it, and there's a session on Thursday, I believe. It's basically, these are the only environment variables this process can access. So kind of having those guardrails in. I don't know how it's implemented. I don't know how it works in practice, but I just saw it on the schedule.
That's interesting. I don't know what I think.
Apple calls it environment constraints. It's basically hardened runtime with more hardening.
Okay. I wrote it down. I don't know. We've got more time. People want to talk about anything? Or should we all get 40 minutes back? You can go read some PRs. I think if no one has much to say, we should take our time back, and I will encourage people to review PRs, approve them, and make our next release even bigger. Brad, did we cover all your PRs?
Yep. Yeah,
Okay.
thanks. Appreciate it.
Last call? Okay. Well, nice to see everyone. Thank you for your work, volunteering, code, day jobs, etc. So thank you all. Talk to you later.
Thanks all.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.